Hello and welcome. My name is Jason Ott, and this is your show, Let's Talk About It. And today I have more of a lighthearted subject. I've got deep in a couple of them, but I want to give you guys my top 7 reasons for eating more plants. Now, I'm not talking about going 100% plant-based. That is a personal decision if you want to go on a 100% whole foods plant-based diet, or I like to call it healthy vegan, because there's plenty of terrible vegan food that is not actually good for the internal organ function of the body. But when you go and you step into the disease prevention and reversal field, the ones that actually truly 100% reverse disease, you're looking at eating a whole foods plant-based diet. So today is my top 7 reasons on why I would recommend that you get more plant foods into your diet. Now, this doesn't got to be 100%. I mean, when we look at research, we just see, let's say you change your diet right now and you incorporated and you changed half of your diet to getting more fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, things like beans, nuts, seeds, legumes, all of that stuff. Let's say you decided to change up half your diet and do that. The amount of micronutrients and foods that you're going to get are going to greatly help your mortality rate or your risk factors for diseases. So even going and changing your diet by half is going to set you up for long-term health. So I understand it's not for everybody, but let's talk about the top 7 reasons here on why we should seriously be adding in more plant foods into our diet. Okay. First, this is my big one. This is the one that I talk to everybody about, whether you are clinically diagnosed with something or you have a clean bill of health. It addresses the micronutrient deficiencies of your diet. So in America, we have solved the macronutrient issues. So we are getting enough protein, we are getting enough carbohydrate, and we are getting enough fat. And by and large, we are getting enough total calories in a day. Most all Americans are not deficient in macronutrients. Few people will ever starve to death, and usually that is because they are somebody who's homeless and they have no means to get food to begin with. So the real epidemic here in America is micronutrients. So a lack of vitamins, a lack of minerals, a lack of enzymes, a lack of prebiotic foods that feed our gut bacteria, a lack of phytochemicals. All of these nutrients that when the typical American is eating less than 2 servings of fruits or vegetables a day, which is not the recommended daily allowance. So when you don't even hit your RDA of those fresh foods, we're deficient. So when we look at all of our bone disease, we are deficient in the minerals that make up strong bones. We are eating too many foods that pull the minerals out and don't allow us to develop them. When we look at autoimmune conditions, well, if the body's fighting off a disease, I don't believe it's attacking itself. I believe it's responding to a pathogen in the body. But that theory of the body attacking itself, I don't subscribe to. So I look at it as we are deficient in vitamins. We're deficient in the minerals and the phytochemicals that keep our body healthy. When we look at chronic fatigue syndrome, when we look at all sorts of neurological symptoms that we have in people, from spasming to tingling to numbness, and it's unexplained. It's a true mystery illness. We're looking at vitamins again. We're not getting enough. So our central nervous system becomes very stressed. So what foods fuel the central nervous system? What foods fuel the other major systems in our body other than the muscular system? Because everybody knows protein helps muscle. Great. But when we have the lymphatic system and the endocrine system and the central nervous system broken down into different parts, when we have all these other systems that require nutrients, what foods fuel them? That is where you're going to get your micronutrients that fuel them. So that is my top reason, because when you look around at the epidemic around America, majority of these things are because we are completely malnourishing organs and systems because we do not eat the right amount of fresh foods. And because of that, we eat too much processed and too much protein and too much fat, and that leads us down the wrong road. It really does. All right. Centenarians. My second reason for eating more plants, because centenarians do it. And you're saying, Jason, what the hell's a centenarian? Centenarian are people that make it to 100 years old or longer, okay? And I'm going to reference the blue zones. If you look into all of that research and all of those people, especially before these cultures were westernized by our way of living, which eventually leads you to breaking down your body and getting sick if you are too gluttonous in the Western way. Centenarians, they eat that way. When you interview and you talk to people who make it to 100, 105, 110 years of age, and you ask them and you learn what they're eating for a diet, 90% of their diet is coming from plant sources and whole food sources. It's not coming in a gluttonous way of processed food, alcohol, different beverages like pop and juices that have no nutrient content to them, and not overeating animal products. We're not eating 3-4 servings of those a day. Their diet is very rich in whole foods. Do they still eat animal products? Absolutely do. They just do not do it in a gluttonous way because that's not how they were raised and brought up. So when you study these people, you see they have a large amount of fruits, vegetables, herbs, and spices. They like to eat beans and lentils. They snack on seeds and nuts. They eat all these other things to get their daily caloric intake, and most of them do not eat in a gluttonous way. So they don't overeat. They're not overindulging, all right? So my second big reason is because the longest living people on the planet eat a high amount of these foods, okay? And just to say, they don't only eat that. They just don't overindulge in the other things that are more macronutrient based, not micronutrient based, okay? They really value those plant foods for good reason too, because it's passed down in their cultures. It's passed down in their cultures because it helps you stay healthy, okay? It's passed down for a reason, all right? And science is really backing that up. It feeds your immune system. So when I look over my notes a little, it feeds your immune system. So we have different systems in our body. I mentioned the lymphatic, the endocrine, the nervous system, the immune system, the digestive system. We have more systems than just your muscles. So many people are obsessed with eating to have a certain body on the outside when the inside of their body is absolutely getting destroyed. I was one of those people. I looked great from the outside. I was 235, 240 pounds of just muscle, 8-9% body fat. From the outside, I looked phenomenal, but on the inside, my body was suffering from high blood pressure and colitis and chronic fatigue. It was destroying myself the way I was choosing to live when I was in that mindset. Until I reversed the colitis and got better because I started focusing on foods that fuel my digestive system, my immune system, my lymphatic system. These other systems in your body that are absolutely vital for your well-being and for your longevity. We don't eat enough foods for them. The foods that fuel these systems, specifically your immune system, which is reason number 3, are plant foods, period. They are. You get your vitamins and minerals from those foods in the highest amount, okay? So my reason number 3 is let's eat for our other systems, specifically the immune system. We have too much damn disease going on in this country, and we're the wealthiest country in the world. And because of that, we actually value food products and foods created in labs more than what grows from the ground, which is actually really weird if you think about it. Because we're saying that we can make a better food in a factory than we can that's already provided, which is just asinine. It doesn't make any sense. And nothing to this date really adds up to side on the side of making things in labs. So 4, well, this is the clinical evidence. The doctors, the programs, the institutes, the people that reverse chronic disease, heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, cancers. Yes, I said it. They all have people eat a high amount, if not 100% whole foods, plant-based, depending on the doctor and the program, but all of them will significantly reduce the amount of protein and fats in someone's diet to reverse their disease, not treat. There are systems and programs and trendy diets that treat diseases, so the symptom is now gone, but as soon as that person has one meal outside of their dietary preference, all of their symptoms and blood work changes back because they never actually improved the organ function, cleaned out the body, rebuilt the major systems, and then saw if the person can have a food. For example, I'm going to take diabetes, okay? Type 2 diabetes. If you reverse the disease, you can have a piece of cake and your body will regulate the blood sugar because you actually fixed the liver, the kidneys, the pancreas, the stomach. You fixed all of those through the lifestyle protocol that you went on. So you reversed the condition, you didn't treat it. So the doctors that completely get rid of these diseases in their practices, what we preach in our Empowered University program, and we are partnered with a nurse practitioner, the wellness program we take people through, as long as they stick to it, their body will get healthier and they will reverse their disease. So number 4 is because when we look at the clinical evidence, the people that do this with great success have a plant-heavy diet, period. They don't go any other way. They eat the foods that rebuild the major systems of the body, period. Okay? Fiber. This is a huge one. As somebody who had colitis, the digestive conditions in America are absolutely terrible. It is ridiculous, okay? Between IBS, leaky gut, quote unquote, which true leaky gut, you're not walking around, you're not going to work. Crohn's, colitis, diverticulitis, C. diff, all of these different intestinal tract and gut bacteria overgrowths, candida, all of these things that really are wreaking havoc on Americans are because of a lack of nutrients. They are. You're not eating enough fiber. The same with the fruits and vegetables that we intake so low. And not all fruits and vegetables are very high in fiber. They have dietary fiber, but the highest fiber foods we don't eat. Maybe avocado. People love avocado nowadays, but that's more of a fat source anyway. But the fiber, all fiber heavy foods, all fruits and vegetables, all herbs and spices are prebiotic foods, which means it gives you the proper nutrients to go inside your body and allow your body to produce the gut and intestinal tract bacteria needed to have a healthy microbiome. Your microbiome is the trillions of bugs that live on you, in you, and through you, which are all these little single cell organisms, well, multi-cell, I guess, it depends, that live in you that help facilitate your health. It's a huge part of your immune system. It's a huge part of your digestive system. It's a huge part of you not getting sick and living a long time. And when we come to digestive conditions, which it seems like everybody has food sensitivities and allergies and all of these things going on, when I look at their diets and I sit down with these people and I'm like, dude, where's your fiber? Like, well, I'm eating my protein. Great. You don't have a problem with the protein. You have a problem with all the other nutrients you're not getting. It's not about protein and fat anymore. We do too much of that in America. We need to balance this diet out. So the 5th reason is get more fiber, get more enzymes, and get more prebiotic food in your diet. That comes from plants, period. Okay? You are not fixing someone's fixing someone's. I've had people go on protocols where they go high protein, high fat, and they get stable. They might not go to the bathroom every day. They might have trouble going to the bathroom, but they might not have diarrhea anymore. They get stable, but they're not reversing the condition so that person can go back to their normal life. The person's still living in fear. They don't know if their condition's going to come back or not because they don't know the root cause of it. You have to rebuild the body, and part of that rebuild is getting your good, healthy gut bacteria to regrow in your body, okay? So fiber. We are fiber deficient. We are not getting the 25 to 40 grams of the recommended daily allowance of fiber a day. It's not happening, and we need to get more of that in there. The only way you're going to get that is through whole plant foods, period. I mean, that's the only way. You can take a supplement, but it's not going to do the same thing because there's specific nutrients in real food that grows that gut bacteria. You can't take a powder, man-made, in a lab fiber supplement and expect to reap the same benefits as actually going to eat yourself an apple. It is not going to happen. You will get minimal help. In long term, you'll be back in the same boat. You need to get real food. Stop thinking you can just go buy an easy pill or powder for it. That's not how this game works, okay? 6, detoxes the body. The only way, so a quick lesson on fasting. Water fasting can help someone, right? But most people are so malnourished and deficient in vitamins and minerals that when they water fast, they're increasing their adrenaline and they're actually having their body hold on to more toxins than release. There's a smart way to actually release toxins in your body. And it's not by just, I'm going to water only fast and take some pills and powder and think it's going to be okay. No. You can't sit there and drink bone broth and think you're going to get all the toxins out of your body. It's not the way it works. Specific toxins lodge themselves in specific parts of your body, deep in your organs, and deep in crevices, you could say, in your body. Now, certain toxins, let's take heavy metals, for example, they must bond to a nutrient before they are removed from your body as waste. So this is why phytochemicals are so important to a person, and you're only getting these phytochemicals from real living food, okay? You can't just get a phytochemical powder packet. So when you go through and you're trying to detox your body, if you're heavy metal toxic, if you're like my wife who grew up next to a fertilizer plant, so she has God knows what that got into her body, if you're like these type of things, and you need to detox those, fruits and vegetables, juices, smoothies, all of the nutrient-dense foods that actually have the phytochemicals and the nutrients to bond to toxins and then escort them out of your body is what you need. I've had many people come and see me. They've ran detoxes. They've went and did specific cleanses that was supposed to clean out their body, and it was supposed to help. For example, if you do a colon cleanse, and you think that's detoxing you on a cellular level from environmental toxins, you're wrong. You might improve nutrient uptake. You might get a bunch of old, rotting, disgusting food that hasn't made it out of your colon and intestinal tract in a long time. Might have that happen. Just because you shit your brains out does not mean you are detoxing. That is not the same thing. And now, for general population, you might get some benefits from it. But when you're dealing with someone with autoimmune conditions, with different cancers, heart disease, digestive conditions, neurological conditions, you can't just put them on a colon cleanse and we're good. It doesn't work that way. So a lot of these things that become popular are because people that are sick, that are actually chronically ill, they're not using them because they don't work. No, I went on 2 different detox programs before I actually switched my diet to fix my digestive condition, and they didn't work. It didn't fix the colitis. It didn't fix the high blood pressure. I didn't get a boost in energy because my adrenal cells on my kidneys were fried. You can't fix that with doing a 14 or 21 day cleanse. Doesn't happen. And if your body did happen to dump all of these toxins into your bloodstream, let's just say it did work that way, you would die. That's how many toxins are stored in every human body on this planet. So the detox process and the rebuilding of the organs and systems has to go through a process. You just don't detox in 14 days. You have to spend, depending on your health history, depending on the hereditary toxins passed down from your parents and grandparents, you might have to spend years getting it all out of your system. I've had clients that have literally spent years. The good news is they don't have the symptoms anymore. They're not sick anymore. Their blood draws are getting better. So you will come out the other end. I'm just sick of the misinformation that people are getting because it's leading you down the wrong path when you're trying your hardest to help yourself. So I have a problem with it. So the 6th reason, fruits, vegetables, herbs, and spices. Remove environmental toxins responsibly out of your body. Responsibly, so that you never have to deal with them again and you build up a defense for it. I don't want you guys to fall victim to these quick fix programs because I've been in this industry long enough. I've done it myself and I've worked with enough people. It doesn't end well. It doesn't get you where you want to do. So just save yourself some time and do it the right way and learn it the right way. The last one, literally all the research I've ever read, all the experience, the last 15 plus years that I've spent with my head in books, working with clients, talking and networking with professionals, taking certifications, doing any way, shape, or form to learn about healing and to learn about improving the health of the human body and to learn about the prevention of sickness in the human body. Every single diet program ever invented can agree on this. We all need to eat fruits and vegetables. Because why? It decreases the risk factors for every single disease known to man. Every one of them. There's not a sickness on this planet that eating more fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, and I would even say whole foods, because like beans, lentils, that type of stuff, it helps. So everyone likes to think that there's a specific thing. Well, I have this condition, so like, well, you have colitis and I have C. diff, or I have IBS and you have colitis, or dude, what is good for one disease is good for all of them. There are specifics, but you could take Dr. Brooke Goldner's program for reversing lupus and Sjögren's and other autoimmune conditions, and you could say, do that same one, do it for heart disease. Bet you'd see the same thing, because when you look at the specifics of those diets and you compare the results of people who've reversed their heart disease, they're pretty much the same. You could do the same thing for type 2 diabetes. You could do the same thing for autoimmune conditions. There are some specifics due to your own family history and your own hereditary, not genetic, but hereditary lifestyle you learned. There might be some specifics, but generally speaking, they all help. They all help. So as I was reversing my colitis, as I was putting my health back together, I was setting up prevention for all the other diseases. Because as your body gets stronger, you are going to be able to fight those off too. So the seventh reason is it literally improves, I don't want to say improve because I already said decrease, it literally decreases the mortality rate for every disease known to man. And that is true empowerment. That is where you actually feel good about what you are doing. I'm going to throw one more in there. It's more sustainable. It's more sustainable for our planet. So I know I said 7, but you got a little asterisk and a little bonus material. It's more sustainable. The research that's coming out now, I took a class, an oceanology class at Cornell University. It was through a program by T. Colin Campbell. I took that certification. There was an oceanology class, and they went over some very specific research in there. I also have a client of mine. She is pre-med major, and she was taking a sustainability class in college right now. And so she was sharing with me all the same things. Yes, I am very deep into how do people heal? What do they do to heal? Where are the institutes, the research, blah, 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 all the stuff I always talk about. I am deep into that. The side I have not studied a ton about, but I do know that it exists, is the sustainability of our planet. So the amount of natural resources needed to farm and maintain more crops and to reduce the percentage. I'm not saying take away everybody's meat. Not saying that. I don't want to, get stabbed with a pitchfork. But to decrease, if we just cut in half the average daily animal product consumption in America, yes, we would have better health care. We would have a less of a budget for that because we'd have healthier people. Insurance costs would go down. Yes, 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 of course, because we'd be healthier, but it would greatly impact the sustainability of natural resources on this planet. And that is a little bonus for you. Check into that stuff. It just will really, really, really help if we start to do that. Eating more plants, that is. I hope this helps you guys out. These are my top 7 reasons that you need to get more whole plant foods into your diet daily, because it will literally save your life. As always, if you need anything, shoot me an email, info@empoweredprevention, and I will get you connected with any resource or any service that you need help with. I hope to see you guys. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? You're going to see me. All right. I hope to hear from you guys soon. And as always, be vigilant, guard your minds.